What's going on, everybody? Mark here, waist deep wade fishing, Southwest Florida. And today we've got an interesting topic. Today we're going to talk about the Heaton Spook, the Super Spook, the Zara Spook, and the Super Spook Junior. Three of my favorite baits of all time. But not only are we going to talk about those, we're going to talk about my number one favorite, the original. I'm going to show it to you at the end of this presentation. Basically, I want to discuss to you the history, briefly, of where this lure came from and how it became so legendary. Heaton was one of the first manufacturers of artificial lures. The founder, James Heaton, started carving lures out of broom handles in the 1890s. The company was formed in 1902 to produce the first lure. There's a lot more to the story that goes on to where the name, the Zara Spook, came from, and the Super Spook Junior, and of course, now we have the One Knocker, and we have the regular Zara Spook. Now, all of these different lures were created by the same man, but one stood out in the saltwater field, and the one that stood out the most was the Zara Spook. And the first Zara Spook was created in the early 1950s. That was the first plastic artificial topwater plug created by Heaton. And Heaton created that and actually had a little side name for it called a slope nose. As time went on and materials got more sophisticated, and the old hand carving of wooden lures kind of became a thing of the past. And then, of course, by him getting as big as he was with his company, James Heaton, of course, had to go into production. And at one point, he was doing anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 Zara Spooks, a week. So at that point, what had happened was he started to branch out, and then he created the Super Spook and the Zara Super Spook Junior. By the mid-1960s, he produced one lure, and to this day, that lure I still throw when I'm out on the flats. And of all the topwater lures that I have in my possession, this one topwater lure has outfished and outcaught every single topwater lure that I have in my box over the last 20 years. So if there's any type of topwater lure that you must have in your box that will catch just about everything, I've caught almost every species of fish on this lure. I've caught snook, I've caught redfish, I've caught jack crevalle, caught tarpon, I've caught needlefish, I've caught pufferfish, I've caught barracuda. I'm trying to think, what else have we got on there? A sea robin, a bluefish, a striped bass, an eel. The list goes on and on and on. But it's the one universal topwater lure that everybody should have in their box. And today I'm proud to show you guys, and I think you already know what it is, but I'm going to show it to you. The Heaton Super Spook Junior. It has that very distinctive knock. Of course, it comes with the treble hooks. I like to replace them with single inline hooks. That infamous bloody red head, those iridescent eyes, and just the walking style of this bait. It just walks so tight on top of the water. This is just one of those lures that just, there's nothing else that can mimic it. There's no other lure that has the movement and the ease that this lure has. So I'm putting this out there shout out to Mr. Heaton, rest in peace, as the #1 top water bait on the grass flats for redfish, trout, and snook. And this is my #1 color. There's other colors I use. I use blacks. I use, white with chartreuse, bone. But out of all those colors that are out there in that category, if I put all the numbers together, this red and white, the red rooster, that's what the old timers used to call it, the red and white Super Spook Junior, the saltwater edition, this is the must-have, the must-throw, especially when throwing top waters. So why don't you sit back real quick, take a look at some of the footage I got this morning throwing this lure. Check it out. See if we can get a couple. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, yes. Fish on. Fish on. Fish on, guys. And it looks, I think it's a red. I think it's a red. It's a small one, or it's a big trout. First fish. That is looking like a red. Let's see what we got. Wow, that's a good trout. Boy, look at that trout. That's beautiful. That's a good one this morning. Just started off. Nice trout. Let me bring her up here one more time for everybody. Yes. Let me get her real quick out of the water. Whew, man, good trout. That's solid. That's what we're looking for. Oh boy. Look it right there. She hit that top water. She swung at it. It's a good fish. Good fish. Hey, good to see you back. Hope you enjoyed that footage. That was earlier this morning. We went out there right at sunup. We had the perfect conditions, and I put that Super Spook Junior right where it should be, and ended up coming up with a 22-inch trout on the top. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that brief history on the Heaton Spook and the Sarah Spook and the Super Spook Junior. Definitely keep one of those in your box. And, when you're out on those flats and it's time for a top water, that would be my first one that I'm gonna tie on. Depending on the conditions, but for the most part, if I've got sunny conditions, pretty clear water, not too much wind, not too much chop, that's gonna be my go-to. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my little summary here on the Super Spook Junior. Love you all. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And please, guys, don't forget, hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm, helps me out. Tell a friend. Make sure they show a little bit of love. Spread the word. We're almost at the goal. I've hit the goal of what I needed for hours, but now I need to hit the other goal of subscribers. We're about 200 shy. So I need your guys' help out there. If you can do me a favor, whoever it is, if you're new, if you're old, pass it on to a friend. Tell someone about what I do. If you enjoy it, hit the like button. Tell a friend, hey, check this guy out. He can help you out. Help you out a lot while you're out on the water. Throw him a like, throw him a subscribe. Definitely helps the channel, and it helps the company and the YouTube channel go further, so I can continue to do what I do. All right, guys, love you all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.